Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me once again for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. I'm Yvonne. How is it going? If you are looking for the spot to talk about retirement savings, you are indeed in the correct place. And, don't worry about it now. If you'd like to become a member of this community, we'll talk about it at the end. Just see what you think, okay? So, we're going to start this the way we always do by me asking you, how are you doing? How's it going? How are you faring? I know times are challenging for all of us, and everybody has some sort of a challenge. So, this is a very supportive community. And, if you'd like to reach out, we'd love to hear from you. Just know that somebody is thinking about you and wishing the best for you, okay? So, how's it going with me? Pretty well. Now, I have to kind of laugh because on one of the earlier shows, I was talking to you about the coffee that I get, Seattle's Best. And I got this from Sam's Club. This is a 2-pound bag for $16.98. Now, I was listening to one of my shows where I was telling you guys about it, and I realized what I had said is I buy that bag every 30 days. No, 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 no. I don't drink that much coffee. But it lasts me for 90 days. So, it's pennies a cup and it works for me. That's what I choose to do. I mean, would I like to go to a coffee shop every day? Well, no, not really. And I especially don't want to pay that $5 at least a cup for coffee. So, it's my way of looking out for finances. So that's what I do. Just wanted to correct myself there and let you know that that's a 90-day supply. And, when I do these, I'm just talking, right? There is no script or anything like that. So every now and again, I'm going to catch myself saying something I didn't quite mean to say, but I wanted to make sure to clean that up for you. So, I have a couple of things for us to chat about today. We are still on, and we're going to be on this for a while. The Millionaire Next Door. Love this book. If you don't get around to buying it, it's okay. We'll talk about some different things. If you can see, I am nearly through it now, and we'll just chat about some things. So don't worry about it. Great book, but we will chat about things, okay? So, a couple of things for you. So, something that I found in the book, but also something else. So, I like to read or watch or whatever, different money magazine type things and read the articles. And I saw something that truly broke my heart. It said of people in their 50s, there were 30% of them they have no retirement savings whatsoever. I mean, think about that. You're anywhere from 10 to 20 years from wanting at least to stop, maybe to stop your working life. That's not to say you definitely do, but that's the thought process. It's something that many of us want to work toward. And those in their 50s, 30%, that's a lot of people who have not prepared for retirement. Like I said, that hurts me because I want all of us to be successful in that. When we choose to go, we have the resources to do that. Okay, so I'm reading through this article and it told people in their 50s, don't give up hope because you can still save enough for retirement. And I kept reading it, and it was talking about the catch-up contribution that people in their 50s can make to fund their accounts, as much as they possibly can. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine, but here's the thing. You've already determined these folks aren't contributing now, and you've not looked at the why. You can't just throw a solution at people without at least thinking through why people are not funding their accounts. So telling them, you can put thousands of dollars in your account and catch up in the next 10 to 20 years. To me, that's horrible information because take it down a notch and talk about ways to save. You got to start somewhere, and even in your 50s, if you're just doing a few $100s a month, it is a start. Okay? So I just want to say, don't lose heart. If you haven't funded your account, you can just get started. Say in the next 20 years or so, you have in that retirement account, you started and you're funding it with something, and maybe at the end, maybe you've contributed up to $100,000. Now you can say, well, it's not $1 million, it's not going to get me anywhere. Well, every dollar helps, every dollar counts. So say there's $100,000 in that account come time to retire. And if we use the 4% rule, you're going to take out $4,000 a year. $100,000 times 4%, $4,000. Now divide that out over the year, and that's about $333 a month. Is it, huge money? No, but every little bit helps. And just remember, just from my example, I have different sources coming to me in retirement. So that's the thing. However many sources you have is what gets you to where you can be successful. So just keep that in mind. Just start, whatever, something small, okay? Look at that. And we talk about the blank sheet of paper, and those of you who've been with me for a while know what this is. In that top line, you want to put in your net, your paycheck, the actual net. What are you getting? And you're going to do that for the month. And I'm hopeful you started, or at least thinking about it, getting ready to sign up for a 401k or whatever at your workplace. If you don't have access to that, there's still a way to do it. So you're just going to set up an IRA on your own. And it's all about funding it consistently. Don't look at that account as a piggy bank. Just keep funding it. The way I look at it is my way to buy myself out of the 9 to 5. Right now, I'm enjoying my job, but there is going to be a time when I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm done. Whatever I have is what I have, and I'm going to go. But giving myself that option. So please, whatever you do, give yourself options. So you have the net on that top line. The next one is pay yourself first. So whether that be, for me, pocket money, because I try to pay cash whenever I go to the store as much as I possibly can. And then, putting money aside, I put it away for income taxes. I put it away for insurance premiums. I put it in for an emergency fund. And, I put it away for vacations. Whatever that is, you pay yourself first on that second line, okay? And then from lines 3 down, you're going to write down what your obligations are per month and tally it. When I did this for the first time for myself, to have that realization what I am really spending per month, and when I did that on a piece of paper, and if you do it electronically, that's fine, whatever works for you. But when I put everything down, I realized how much money was going out compared to what was going in. And I realized I had to tighten my belt in different areas, not to pay yourself first. There's other ways to do it. So just start there. If you have any questions, want some help, reach out. We are more than happy to do that for you. But have an understanding of what those expenses are, someplace to start, okay? And again, don't beat yourself up if you haven't done it. Hey, here on that's all you need to look at, okay? So that Yahoo Finance was one thing I wanted to talk to you about, so just make sure you're starting. The other thing is a story that I found in the Millionaire Next Door. And one of the things they were talking about was lifestyle creep. Do you know what that is? So that's you come into a larger sum of money at work or anything else. So say you get a promotion. Say you get a big raise. Say you have some sort of a bonus. Lifestyle creep is when you have that unexpected money, you blow it. You go buy yourself a fancy car. You, whatever, some around the world vacation. That's what that means. Instead of looking at your life, okay, I'm happy where I am. Do I want a little bit to spend? Because you know what? We're all human. That's okay. But to pay that money in a way, or use that money in a way that doesn't help you financially and leaves you kind of worse off, that's what we want to avoid. Do you remember Dr. Phil? He used to be on the Oprah show. I would watch him on a semi-regular basis. And he was talking one time about wanting to buy a new car. He went to the BMW dealership, and because he makes a lot of money, the salespeople were like, "Oh yes, here we go. Let's sell him a new one." He's like, "No, no, no, stop. You need to stop. I don't want new. I want something that's a couple years old." And when I heard that the first time, I'm like, this man makes millions of dollars, and he's talking about getting a used car. I did not understand that. Well, over the years, I've come to appreciate his position, in that what he was saying was, I make this money, yeah, but I want to put money away for my retirement. I want to help my kids. I got grandkids, all these things that I want to do. And I don't wish to spend all that money on a new car. So if you get something that's a couple years old, somebody else has taken the depreciation hit. Let that sink in, folks. And I don't want to talk badly about anybody who's bought new. We make choices. That's okay. But what Dr. Phil pointed out for me is that you can still have a nice newer car and not have to pay the premium for a new car. Because the moment you drive that car off the lot, that ticker is going tick, 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 that is losing value. And so that's what that's all about. If you can find ways to save money, do so. So that's what that was teaching me. And I haven't bought a new car since understanding that principle. Let somebody else take that hit. I can still have a nice newer car that is going to last me for years and years and years, but I didn't have to pay that premium because it's brand new. And just think about that. When you get that promotion, when you get a raise, if there's an inheritance potentially in your future, don't look at how fast you can spend that money. Think about, okay, how can this help me going forward? I told you guys a story about an acquaintance who got some sort of an insurance settlement somewhere in the neighborhood of $150,000. And then he proceeded to see how fast he could spend that money. The problem is, he's knocking at the door of 70, and he doesn't own a house. He doesn't even make enough to rent. And so, he's living with family members, and just retirement years are all about having choices, having the choice to live the life that you want. I spend time picturing what my life is going to look like in retirement and how much that's going to cost. So whatever you do, just look out for the future you. Yeah, you want to have fun. I had to laugh at myself because, I think some sort of a raise that I'd gotten years ago, which netted me an extra $200 a month, and I spent 40 of it. And I go, wait a minute, is this lifestyle creep? Is this what it looks like? No, you have to treat yourself a little bit. Come on, we work hard. So just keep all of those things in mind, okay? And with that, we are getting ready to wrap this up. And at the very beginning, I said, if you are enjoying these episodes, then just make sure you see where it says subscribe there. So just click the link and subscribe. And what will happen is when I produce these, they will come directly to your email box. So you can watch them, you can share them, and think about sharing them with somebody else, because somebody else out there who is struggling, who could use a little bit of help. Just forward these to them. And then the third option, of course, is to save them and just keep a library of these and just remind yourself you're okay. It is one step at a time, all of this. So, just don't worry about it. This huge undertaking, just start with today. All right. So, as we wrap this up, I thank you so very much for joining me for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. Of course, I'm Yvonne. And please, whatever you do, be good to yourselves, please, and be good to others. We are all we have. We have to look out for each other. So spread a little love, some joy, some kindness. We would all appreciate it, okay? Take care of yourselves, and until next time, bye.